For me, it's a huge honour. I was, overwhelmed by the other, other recipients of the award. I feel very limited in my knowledge and my experience, but to be kind of grouped, hopefully for the future, it's going to give me the real push and the potential to really make a difference in a sustainable and social way. I think the biggest challenge is people, and people really need to start making a difference and start considering the products that we produce, about the way that we run business. And I think that if we can start changing people's mindsets and allowing people to work in a social manner, that's when we're going to start to solve those problems, but not until then.
It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to the Oslo Peace Through Trade Summit and the 2010 Oslo Business for Peace Awards ceremony here in the Oslo City Hall. The awards ceremony is arranged by the Business for Peace Foundation, the Oslo Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Oslo. The award is in its second year as the highlight of the Business for Peace Summit on ethical business practices.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, my name is Jan Egeland. I will be the moderator of this session. Friends, it is incredible how effective business, trade and commerce can be as a tool for peace, for human rights, for development, for reconciliation, when it is based on ethics and when it has society as its goal.
Since its inception, ICC has strived to champion an open global economy as a force for three fundamental ingredients of peace: economic growth, job creation, and prosperity. Today, this remains our fundamental mission. Over the last 90 years, we have fought hard to bring down trade barriers, establish multilateral trade agreements, and develop tools and services for doing business globally. The exponential increase in world trade since World War II has resulted in raised living standards and increased prosperity in many parts of the world.
We are on the cusp, I believe, of another great economic era, a new convergence of communication and energy that could create a third industrial revolution and move us to biosphere consciousness in less than a generation. We had a very powerful communication revolution in the last 15 years, the personal computer and the internet. Now this communication revolution is very different than the first generation communication electricity, which was centralized, top down. This new internet revolution is flat, it's open source, and here's the key term. It's distributed, distributed, distributed. Meaning now 2 billion or more people can put a little BlackBerry in their hand and send their own video, audio, and text to all the other 2 billion people simultaneously, distributed with more power than all the television networks in the world, and we did this in 15 years.
The vision is to contribute to a better everyday life for the many people, and that is a very strong social vision that has been guiding our company since 1976 when it was formulated. And the social ambition then to help the many people is that we should provide home furnishing of good design quality at prices so low that the majority of people can afford them. So people with limited financial means should be able to do this.
I think one thing we must keep in mind that the biggest thing actually is self-interest. And what we're really looking for is enlightened self-interest, not so much saying this is charity or doing good or, I think all of us want to do what is the right thing, but if it's helped along by enlightened self-interest, it often works extremely well. I mean, IKEA clearly is an example of that.
It's not a contradiction between self-interest and ethical values. I think business people really should acknowledge that in the long term, following high ethical standards is also in the self-interest of their business and companies, no doubt. Because it will be focused on ethical values, on anti-corruption, on transparency, equality, and some of the other values which I mentioned. So I'm fully convinced that it will be to the self-interest of business people to follow these ethical guidelines.
I'm going to be your master of ceremony tonight. And first of all, I'd like to introduce to you the man who, like you, are burning for ethical, responsible, and transparent business and trade to promote peace. For CSR, corporate social responsibility, the man who some years ago took the initiative to establish a prize to award worthy businessmen and women the acclaim and attention that they deserve. Please welcome Per Saksgaard.
Your Excellencies, esteemed honorees, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oslo Business for Peace Award and the presentation of the 2010 Business for Peace honorees. This is the 4th annual summit on peace through trade. Since 2007, our summit in Oslo have presented views on enlightened business practice from leaders of governments, business and NGOs under the theme Peace Through Trade. During the initial gatherings and the discussions leading up to them, one thing became clear. Excellent business practice are rarely featured on the global stage. Instead, business and businessmen regularly end up being the villains in the story. And let me add, often deservedly so. There are many instances of bad business practice, and it's correct to reveal these through the power of media and government regulation. In conclusion, let me congratulate the award committee with its work in choosing the 2010 Business for Peace honorees.